All right, sports fans, we've wrapped up warm-up. They're gathering the pucks. If I'm not mistaken, this is an Olympic ice sheet. Maybe I am mistaken, but it certainly looks a lot larger. We are at the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center in St. Cloud, Minnesota, home of the St. Cloud State team, the Huskies. Orono warming up, getting ready to roll. We'll be playing St. Cloud's PWA PeeWee team today. And if there are any issues with the stream, please text me, and eventually I'll get to it and see it. I've hit the start button today. That's a plus. Last night I didn't hit the start button until about 8 minutes in. I was jabbering on like a monkey in a tree for the first 10 minutes of the game, and then remembered, hey, I actually have to hit the start button. All right. Whoop, wait, nope. Shoot, I screwed something up already. Here we go. We are the away team. And we're ready to roll. All right, Orono is going to send out Peck, Lee, and Downey with Kinder and Dacey on defense. St. Cloud comes out. Goalies are good. We're ready to drop the puck. Peck wins it. Back to Kinder. Kinder hits Downey inside the red line. Peck takes it, brings it across. He works behind the net. He'll dump it back to Dacey, back to Peck, along the midboard. He's got some traffic. He gets it down below to Downey behind the goal line and to Lee. Lee gets a backhander off, but save made. So, 23 seconds in, Orono's got a shot on goal. That's a good sign. Packer in net today. Lemparski was last night, completing a 7-0 shutout of Mount West Honka. Kinder able to hold the line just barely, but great job to do so. St. Cloud wraps it around the other side. Lee gets there first. He taps it to Dacey. They play a little game of cat and mouse, and now Dacey gets it to Kinder, who gets it to Peck, who's circling back in his own defensive zone. He now gets it to Lee right at the red line. Lee pumps it in for Kelly. St. Cloud pushes it out, but I'm not sure what the call was. Hand pass, maybe? Offside? I don't know. It's not offside because they're going to put the face-off deep in the Orono offensive zone, so I'm not sure what that call was. But anyway, Orono changes them up. Burke, Kelly, and Fessler with Gerlach and Keefe. Battled for in the circle. Fessler comes away with it. He puts on the brakes. He draws a crowd, but Burke helps him out. Along the midboard, St. Cloud takes it away, and they punch it out to neutral. Battle ensues. St. Cloud controls, but right to Keefe. Keefe tried to skate it in. He got tied up and taken down. He's still in the zone. He'll have to get out. Gerlach now pumps it to Fessler, who punches it in the zone. Fessler on the forecheck. He comes away with it. Now Kelly. Kelly centers for Burke. It was broken up before Burke could get the shot off. And St. Cloud comes the other way. They're offside. No call. Keefe loses his stick trying to punch at the puck, but Orono gains possession as Fessler has it. He'll ice it and go off for a change. So icing the call, 13:04. We're scoreless in the first period. Dylan Erickson and Weiss out there. St. Cloud gets a shot, didn't get through traffic. Erickson on the puck. Now Dacey. So Erickson, Weiss, and Dillon. Glove down by St. Cloud at the blue line. They'll bring it back in the zone. Dacey chasing. He'll gain possession of the puck. Plays it up to Dillon. A little too hot to handle. St. Cloud goes D to D. Now they punch it in the zone. It's going to come in on Packer. He'll have to play it. So no icing. Now given up to Dillon. Dillon brings it across the blue line. Onside play. He skates wide. Gets rubbed up against the boards. Erickson's got it. He moves towards the net. And they freeze the puck. So, I don't think we're keeping shots on goal. But by my count, that's 2 shots for Orono. Not that I'm keeping count, because I can't count, talk, move the camera, and think at the same time. And somehow Weiss goes off the ice for a penalty. I didn't see it. It must have been behind the play. So Orono's going to go on the penalty kill with Weiss in the box for interference. Peck, Gerlach, Keefe, and Downey. Downey tries to clear. He does. Bad camera work by me. St. Cloud whiffs on a clearing attempt. Now behind their own net, they gave it up a little bit. Downey on the forecheck. Now Peck. He'll cut him off at the blue line. They sneak it into the zone. Oh, Gerlach goes into the boards, but he was protected. Now St. Cloud trying to set up the power play. They put one in front. Keefe intercepts. He'll play it out into neutral. Peck's got it. He gets it in the zone, but St. Cloud takes a ride back, and they're going the other way. Shot, but it was offside. So, 42 seconds left on the kill as Orono will change them up. They'll send out Kinder and Dacey on defense, Fessler and Burke at the forwards. 0-0 game thus far. A little slow go out of the gate, but we'll see what happens here. Kill this one off and then maybe get an opportunity. Burke clears the zone. St. Cloud moves it up past the blue line. Dacey ties up his man nicely. And cleared by Kinder. It touched a stick, so no icing. So that'll kill some time. Now St. Cloud comes back the other way, across the blue line. Pass not handled cleanly. Dacey breaks it up a little bit. And then he plays it off the wall for Burke, who's all alone. Burke to the red line. He's got Fessler with him. They pinch, short-handed. Burke goes behind the net. He has killed off the rest of the penalty, and we're at even strength. Kelly comes on the ice. St. Cloud gains possession. They dump it in, and they go off for a change. So it comes all the way around to Keefe. Keefe and Gerlach on defense. Keefe gets it to Kelly. Kelly skates a little bit, looks for an opening, comes through the zone, gets it to Erickson. He thought about a slapper, but he gives it up to Gerlach, who does slap it towards the net, just wide. Now, Kelly gains possession of the puck on a steal. He'll circle at the red line. He's looking for space. He dumps it in, but St. Cloud there. St. Cloud plays it to the midboard, now out. Intercepted momentarily by Sully Dillon. Now St. Cloud gets it back. They shoot. Packer with a save. He dumps it to Gerlach. Gerlach coming the other way. He shoots. Save made. Good shot. He centers. Weiss couldn't get a stick on it. It comes all the way out and into the Orono zone. As Keefe gets it, everybody's changing. Keefe gets it to Dillon just at the blue line. He gets across. Now St. Cloud takes it away. They're moving the other way. Dacey and Kinder on defense. Packer gets a shot and a save. Up to the blue line, not out. It comes in. Kinder tracking it down, plays it up the boards. Cut off by St. Cloud. Now Erickson. Now Kinder back behind his own net. Dacey working back there. Now out in front, shot, blocked by Weiss. Kinder will clear it down the length of the ice, and that'll be icing. 8:46 left in the first, no score. A little bigger sheet of ice, I think. I think this has to be Olympic ice. Peck wins the draw to Kinder. Gets it back to Peck. Peck tries to clear the zone. Goes off a skate, so he'll retrack his steps. He throws it far side for Lee. Goes off Lee's stick into neutral. Now Dacey. He gets it back to Kinder. Kinder hits Downey. Downey tried to tap pass to Peck. Now Peck gathers. He'll come across the blue line. He takes a cross check from behind. That'll cost St. Cloud a man for 90 seconds. So Peck draws the cross-checking penalty. And Orono will change them up. Kelly, Fessler, and Burke, along with Gerlach and Keefe, to start the power play. Burke set to take the draw. Wins it forward. Fessler goes and tracks it down. He puts on the brakes. He's behind the goal line. He'll wheel it back to the point for Keefe. Back to Fessler. Fessler moves in. He hits Burke inside the circle. Burke, well guarded, has to rethink it. He centers. Intercepted by St. Cloud. They'll play it out to neutral. But, Kelly almost had a crack at it. He's trying to gain control of it. He does. He gets it to Gerlach. Gerlach able to move it into the zone. He hits Burke. Moving towards center. Shot just wide. Kelly grabs it behind the goal line. Tries to center again. Broken up by St. Cloud. And they'll try and clear it, but held in by Fessler at the blue line. Now Kelly gets poke checked out to neutral. Keefe will wheel it to Gerlach to Kelly. Enters the zone. Trying to get it to Burke. He does. Burke now centers for Fessler. Fessler shoots. It goes off a stick. And they glove it down and play it. St. Cloud rushing. 17 seconds left on the power play. A shot goes just wide from St. Cloud. And comes in on Packer. He'll freeze it. 10 seconds left on the power play. Power play woes continue. Just my commentary. Might not be everyone's opinion. Erickson, Dillon, and Weiss come on the ice at the forwards. Dacey and Kinder on defense. Dacey, cross ice. He was looking for Sully Dillon. It's going to go the length of the ice, so just a little bit behind him. And that'll do it for the power play as time expires on that 90 seconds. And St. Cloud is back to full strength. So 5-on-5 action now. 6:47 left in the first. Erickson set to take the draw. He wins it to Kinder. Kinder plays it off the boards. Held in by St. Cloud. Then blocked by Weiss out into neutral. Erickson giving chase. He gets it to Dillon. Dillon brings it in. He shoots. Low. Save made. Rebound. Save made. They're digging at it. And puck is now frozen. Good pressure put on the Spartans that time. Put on by the Spartans. Now Peck, Lee, and Downey come out. Kinder and Dacey still on defense. Peck set to take the draw. They battle for it in the circle. St. Cloud comes away with it. Kinder gets called for a hook. They got a delayed penalty and a 2-on-1 rush. Shot blocked by Dacey. St. Cloud still has the puck, and now they've got a sixth attacker out. Shot towards the net. Packer makes the first save. Then the net comes off. Rebound goes wide. But St. Cloud is going to go on the power play. And should be Jack Kinder. Yep, it is. They called the right number. got his stick inside the guy's rib cage a little bit, and he'll go off the ice for a hook. Excuse me. 6:12 left. No score in the first. St. Cloud on the power play. They win the draw. It goes out to neutral. Lee giving chase. He's going to get there first. He moves towards the net. Well defended. He shoots. Goalie made the first save and then didn't know where the puck was. Almost a shorthanded goal. They punch it out down the length of the ice. Gerlach back to play it. Shorthanded. He'll go off the wall. Far side for Keefe. Keefe able to punch it into neutral. It comes in offside and we get a whistle. So 29 seconds negated off the clock on the kills thus far. Kelly and Burke going to come out and replace Peck and Lee. Gerlach and Keefe stay out there on defense. Puck battle for just outside the blue line. Punched in the zone, then Keefe backhands it down the ice. No icing as they wave it. Kelly working in the corner, trying to kill some time. Now Keefe at the blue line. Held it up momentarily. St. Cloud trying to get it in the zone. Burke on the check. Now back behind the net. They try a wraparound. Stopped by Packer. They come inside the zone again. Packer first stop. Rebound attempt. Stopped. Now they center again. Goes off Gerlach's skate. Back behind the goal line. Now they're out in front. It's a scrum. Shot. Blocked by Kelly. By Burke. They center. Kelly the only one there. He'll tap it to Burke, and Burke will skate it out. And he gets tripped up and no call. Pops right back up. Now Kelly takes it away. Burke has it. Short-handed. Actually, even strength now. Penalty's over. So St. Cloud plays it in on Packer from the blue line. Save made. Weiss out there. He'll grab it. He'll go cross ice. He's looking for Dillon. He's got him. Dillon taps it to himself. He comes in. He shoots. Went off the side of the net. Now he centers. Now it's loose out front. St. Cloud grabs control. Orono in the midst of a change. Shot comes in on Packer. He'll freeze the puck. 4:01 left. Scoreless in the first. So you've got Erickson, Dillon, Weiss, Kinder. Who am I missing? Erickson, Dillon, Weiss, Kinder, and that's Dacey. Erickson grabs the puck behind his own goal line. Plays it far side. A little too far for Weiss, but it comes out into neutral. Weiss giving chase. He comes across the blue line, gets it to Dillon. Dillon's going to rip. Goes off a St. Cloud player. Well blocked by that defender. St. Cloud plays it out. They rush 3-on-2. Dacey breaks it up momentarily. Good shot on Packer, but he's able to knock it down and freeze it. 3:34 left in the first. No score. Peck, Downey, and Lee come out with Gerlach and Keefe. One by St. Cloud. Shot blocked by Downey's stick. Now over to, well, they're trying to punch it out. Unable to clear. Gerlach along the midboard. Downey comes to help. Peck's in the fray. They center. Goes past everybody as Keefe does a nice job knocking down the St. Cloud player's stick. Keefe trying to clear along the boards. Has to battle two St. Cloud players and the ref. Peck grabs. Dumps it for Lee. Lee. Oh, offside. Doggone it. If he skates 2 more feet, he's across the blue line and the offside doesn't happen. So face-off will come just outside the Orono offensive zone. Same 5 stay out there. Battle for. Inside. Now Keefe over to Gerlach. Gerlach tried to hit Peck, entering the zone. St. Cloud plays it out. Comes back to Keefe. Keefe inside his own defensive zone. Taps it to Lee. Lee to Peck. Peck moves in. He shoots just over the goal. Downey back to the point for Gerlach. Gerlach tried to put it in the center. It's blocked, and now St. Cloud's got a rush. Oh, stopped by Packer. They try and center it, taken away by Peck. Peck gets it to Downey. Downey tries to clear. He's able to do so. Now he tracks down his own pass. Downey moves towards center. He shoots. It goes off a St. Cloud player. St. Cloud tries to clear. They don't do so. Dacey holds it in. He shoots. Save made as Orono's in the midst of a change. Now St. Cloud gathers. They bring it out. Kinder with a poke check. Plays the player wide, then takes out the body. Good job, Jack. Fessler, another Jack, comes down. Kelly across the blue line. He was looking for Fessler cutting towards the net. Pass didn't connect. St. Cloud breaks that one up. Now they'll play it out to neutral. Kinder on it. Now St. Cloud brings it across. Fessler poke checks. Holds it up. Kinder clears out to neutral. St. Cloud goes D to D, reverses the puck. They'll put it in the zone weakly as Kinder takes it. He'll hit Kelly. Kelly hits Burke, entering the zone. Burke shoots. Another block shot by St. Cloud. That's been kind of a common theme. And then Keefe puts it in as players are exiting the zone. So offside the call, 1:02 left in the first, no score. Weiss, Erickson, and Dillon out. They'll drop the puck at center ice. Gerlach and Keefe back on defense. Ref trying to line up the players properly. Now he drops it. Erickson wins it over to Weiss. Weiss able to use that body to fend it off. Now Erickson gets it in the zone, but played right back out by St. Cloud. St. Cloud moves it the other way. They're looking to center it. They shoot. Goes off a couple players out in front. Back behind the goal line. In the corner. Now intercepted by Dillon. Dillon gets it out of the zone. Weiss on the forecheck. Forces a bad pass from St. Cloud. Played by Gerlach to Weiss, but now back in the hands of St. Cloud. Inside the red line, they punch it in. Gerlach plays it up the boards. Weiss there. He'll ice it. And they blow the whistle before the puck even crosses the ice. So we'll get a face-off at center ice, I believe. Or, sorry, not center ice. I don't know what's going on here. A little discussion. He's pointing to center ice. Okay, that is where the puck will be dropped with 18 seconds left in the period. Peck, Downey, and Lee with Kinder and Dacey. Peck wins it to Downey. He hits Dacey. Dacey tries to hit Lee. Comes into the zone. No call. St. Cloud plays along the boards. Dacey pinches, gets it to Lee. 6 seconds left. He centers. Downey was almost there, but not quite. And St. Cloud's going to clear it out, and that'll do it. After one, we've got no score. All right. Ready to start the second. We need a little, maybe a 5-hour energy or something. A little too quiet in here for me. Paid attendance. Well, no one paid. Attendance estimated at 76 people in a house full of, could probably fill up 12,000. Peck, Lee, and Downey out with Kinder and Daisy to start the second period. They're waiting for the time to get set on the clock. No score. And that reminds me, we're starting the second period, so I should change the scoreboard. There we go. Drop of the puck. St. Cloud controls. Downey intercepts, puts it in the zone. Peck chases it into the corner. He comes away with it. He's dishing and dashing. Downey gets it to Daisy. Daisy, shot on net. Downey, rebound. Goes off Peck. It's loose out in front, but St. Cloud able to control and clear. St. Cloud dumps it in. Held up by Kinder momentarily. Now back behind the goal line, back behind the Orono net. They center. Goes past everybody. And all the way down the ice. Played by the goalie to the St. Cloud defender, who throws it out. Peck intercepts inside the blue line. Moves into the corner. Now trying to get control of it. Gets pushed up against the boards. Players go down. They punch at it. It's on Gerlach. Gerlach gets a shot, but they're going to call interference on who? On Fessler. 88 goes to the box, so Orono goes on the kill. Fessler off the ice for interference. Orono sends out Kelly and Burke along with Keefe and I think Gerlach. Yeah. Gerlach gets it off the draw. Up against the wall in the corner. They're digging at it. He'll just kill some time. He's just killing some time. Now he clears it all the way down the length of the ice. They call icing. Good job by Mason Gerlach to kill 15, 16 seconds off the clock. We'll reset. Drop goes to Packers' glove side. St. Cloud wins the draw, but Kelly comes in, intercepts. He'll throw it off the wall, back out to the blue line. It gets all the way through to neutral. So St. Cloud will have to backtrack and reset. Across the red line, across the blue line, he rushes towards the net, taken away by Keefe. Oh, Keefe. Keefe took it away and then centered it right onto a St. Cloud stick who couldn't get the shot off. Now Gerlach blocks the shot. St. Cloud working to set something up. Orono doing a good job clogging up out in front. Gerlach with the puck. He'll throw it the length of the ice. It's going to come on net, and the goalie has to play it, so no icing. And now Burke, being a pest on the forecheck, forces a bad pass. Daisy cuts it off at the red line. He'll put it in the zone. He gets taken out. No call. St. Cloud can't get control of it. It comes down in the Orono zone, but Kinder plays it over to Daisy a little too far. Now St. Cloud moves towards the net. Taken away by, who is that masked man? That's Erickson. Erickson gets it to Kelly. Kelly brings it across the blue line. Splits the middle. Gets taken out. Now Erickson goes down, but he's able to control it and get it to Daisy. Daisy back to Erickson. Erickson inside the circle gets poke checked. Out to neutral, but the penalty is now over. So Orono kills off that one. They got 5 on the ice as Weiss comes to join the fun, along with Dillon. St. Cloud goes D to D. Now into the neutral zone, taken away by Daisy. Played up the boards. Back along the blue line. As they were changing, they had 6 men on the ice, but not long enough for a call. Now Dillon trying to track it down. Puck gets into the Orono offensive zone. Weiss takes a whack at it. Goes for the steal. Daisy holds it in. Back down to Dillon behind the goal line. He centers. Weiss just barely got his stick on it, and it was wide. Now St. Cloud clears out to neutral, handled by Kinder. Kinder makes a nifty move, puts it in the zone, but right back on a St. Cloud stick, and they will ice the puck. We'll draw the whistle. 11:21 left in the second period. No score. Orono's going to change them up all 5. Peck line comes out with Keith and Gerlach. Excuse me. Drop of the puck. St. Cloud punches it out to neutral. Keith takes it. He waits for everyone to get onside. Then he brings it in. He moves it towards the net. Peck shot wide. Now Lee was trying to center it. Keith lost his stick. Downey backfills him. And Gerlach will take it. He tries to get it out of there. Lee and Peck come to join the fun, but St. Cloud punches it behind the goal line. Gerlach, he got away with a little cross check. Not a bad one. He just extended the arms, and refs usually call that. St. Cloud now puts it behind the net. We got a inadvertent horn, but they keep playing. Peck takes it, skates it, across the blue line. He moves towards the circle, now towards the net. He tries to find Downey streaking towards the net. He couldn't get the shot off because of all the traffic. Now Downey in the corner. He holds. Now he cycles it to Dacey. Dacey back down to Downey. Downey gets rubbed off the puck, and St. Cloud, but he still got it. Downey tried to find Lee. Pass didn't connect, and St. Cloud's going to ice it. No call. What? They waive icing. No idea why. Dacey hits Peck, though. Peck hits Kelly right off the bench onto the ice. Kelly moves in. He tries to center. Fessler almost got there to get a shot. Battle along the boards. Inside the circle now. Peck comes away with it. He's on his backhand. He shoots. Save made. St. Cloud has the puck. Now Peck comes off for a change. Kelly almost steals. Now St. Cloud trying to clear, but Fessler there. He'll get it to Kelly. Kelly on his backhand to Burke out in front. Burke's shot goes wide as he couldn't control it. And played out to neutral. Broken up by Dacey momentarily. Now St. Cloud moves in. Right in front. Packer save. It's loose. It's still loose. Now they get a whistle. And no goal. Whistle had blown. Everybody catch your breath. We'll get a face-off to Packers blocker side. 9:04 left in the second, no score. Face-off won by St. Cloud. Back to the point. Keith momentarily breaks it up. Now Burke breaks it up. St. Cloud holds his own. They work outside the circle. Shot goes over the net. Another shot goes wide. Shot comes in on Packer. He makes the save. A lot of ice out there. Now they move in. Shot gets blocked out in front. Orono trying to clear. Can't. Shot from the point. Gerlach knocks it down with his skate. They center again. Comes all the way out to the point. Shot from the point. Comes in on Packer. He makes the first save. It's loose. Fessler grabs it. He'll get it out of there. Kelly. He tried to get it back to Fessler. Cut off by St. Cloud. Kelly knocks him down. And Kelly's going to go to the box for a check. So Orono going back on the penalty kill. Kelly to the box for checking. Orono will send out Erickson, Dillon, Kinder, and Dacey. Battle for Erickson wins it over to Dacey. Dacey around the boards for Dillon, held in by St. Cloud. On the power play is St. Cloud. They shoot, blocked by Kinder. Kinder, it's out in front, it's loose. Packer able to hang on. .115 left on the St. Cloud power play. St. Cloud now exchanging goaltenders, so we're about the halfway point of the game. So one goalie swaps out for the other one. St. Cloud controls the draw on the power play to the point. They find it inside the circle, but puck's loose. Now shot blocked by Dacey into the corner. Dacey plays it off the boards out to neutral. Dillon on the forecheck. Trying to force an error. St. Cloud keeps it. They're on the rush. Blocked by Erickson's skate. No entry into the zone yet. Now they get it in the zone, but taken away right away by Dillon. First day with the new mouth here, so. All right, Dacey's got it. He'll punch it out of the zone. Dillon and Erickson giving chase along with one St. Cloud player who gets there first, but Erickson doing a good job tying him up. Now, St. Cloud comes away with it, but 20 seconds left on the power play for St. Cloud. They move into the zone. Downey gets tangled up. Gerlach back behind the goal line. He's digging. Those two working together. Now St. Cloud back behind their own net. They center, but cut off by Peck. Peck's able to dump it out into neutral. He goes to chase it down himself. Gets taken out on the play, but the penalty is now over, and we're back to even strength. Peck circles along the boards. Kelly grabs it. He'll put it in the zone. He'll come off for a change as Lee comes on the ice. St. Cloud plays it up along the boards. Cut off by Keefe. Keefe holds momentarily. Now St. Cloud comes, and they're going the other way, 3-on-2. Pass doesn't connect, though. Peck with a poke check. Now Keefe. Keefe pinging around back there. I love it. Peck hits Lee, exiting the zone. Lee enters the offensive zone. He gets hooked and taken out. No call. Unbelievable. Peck finds Downey. Downey shoots wide. Good thought. He was going opposite side of where the goalie was going, but just missed. And St. Cloud takes it away. Now they shove it down the ice, and Kinder back to play it. Kinder trying to find it in the snow. He does. He hits Peck. Comes off Peck's stick. Dacey taps it to Peck. Peck exits the zone. Out into neutral. Anyone's ball game right now. Battle for it in neutral. Poke checked by Dacey. St. Cloud able to play it back behind the goal line. Kinder gets it to Kelly. Kelly gets it to Fessler. Fessler moves in. Sorry, that's Peck. Peck's still on the ice. So now Fessler comes on the ice. Kinder, shot. It gets broken down out in front. Shot by Peck, scores. I think it's Peck from Kelly, but I don't know. There were a lot of people trying to grab the puck. And Peck gives Orono a 1-0 lead. Finally get to use my tag phrase. That is a spicy pretzel from the Lincoln Depot of St. Cloud. All right. Drop of the puck. Orono leads 1-0. Kelly gets tied up. Fessler, he gets tied up. St. Cloud with a little more pep in their step now that they've been scored on. Let's see if this game gets a little more exciting. They shoot. Goes off of Gerlach's leg. Long. Now Kelly plays along the boards. He plays it out to neutral. Fessler giving chase. He's got one man to beat. He gets poke checked, but he retains possession at the blue line. He'll punch it down behind the goal line for Burke. Burke looking for a centering pass to Fessler. Fessler gets a shot. Save made. Beautiful pass from Burke to Fessler, who was rushing towards the net. Fessler got a good look at it, and the goalie made a good save. 4:07 left in the second. Orono leads 1-0. Orono will change them up again. Erickson, Dillon, and Weiss come out with Kinder and Dacey. Erickson set to take the draw. Controlled by Cloud State. They reverse the puck. Dacey cuts it off along the midboard. He's trying to get it to Dylan. Defended well, but he's able to wrap it behind the goal line. Erickson centers for Weiss. Weiss touched it, but didn't get on net. Now St. Cloud comes in the zone. That was offside by a foot. Not going to make a big deal about it, but Orono plays it back out to neutral. St. Cloud comes back in. They split the middle. Poor angle shot goes off the side of the post. St. Cloud still in possession. They move in. He shoots. Packer save. Rebound. Shot attempt broken up by Weiss and Dacey. Puck goes far side. Now shot low. Packer save. He's getting some action now. Shot reversed. Packer save. Come on, guys. Get control of the puck. Erickson nudges it to Dylan. Dylan tries to get it out of the zone. Poke checked. They hold the zone, St. Cloud. Dacey with it behind the goal line. He's just going to clear it. He'll throw it the length of the ice off the boards. And icing the call, but Orono gets out of the danger zone with 2:44 left in the first, clinging to a 1-goal lead. Gerlach and Keefe come out on defense. Peck, Downing, and Lee at the forwards. Peck wins it over towards Gerlach. Gerlach battles for it. Along the boards, he's able to scoot it out to neutral. St. Cloud thought they were going to play D to D. Now they do. Now they rush the puck over the blue line. Puts on the brakes, but Lee's there to whack it out of there. Now Lee grabs. He goes past the blue line. He loses it. Nobody was really with him. St. Cloud plays it off the boards, held in by Gerlach. He'll throw it back behind the net. Battle for puck possession. Comes out to Keefe in neutral. He tried to go cross ice for Downey, broken up. Now St. Cloud enters the zone. Shot. Save. Packer knocks it down wisely with his glove and holds on for a whistle. 2:01 left in the first. Second period. Burke, Fessler, and Kelly come out with Dacey and Kinder on defense. Battled for in the circle. Kinder able to clear it over towards Kelly. Not out. Now Kelly clears the zone. Fessler giving chase. St. Cloud gets there first. They'll bring it in the zone. He gets all the way to the net. He's centered. It didn't connect. They still have the puck. Shot. Packer knocks it down. Rebound effort. Goes wide. Burke clears it up along the boards. It's going to scoot all the way past the blue line. So St. Cloud player kicks it right towards his goalie from red line. The goalie had to almost make a play on it. Now Dacey with the puck inside the red line. He'll flip it into the zone. St. Cloud gets control. They'll play it out to neutral. Kelly giving chase. He'll get there first. St. Cloud with the puck. They shoot towards the net. It's just wide. Now they play it to the point. He skates in. He shoots. He scores. He found some open net over the blocker side, and he buried it. We're tied at 1 with 50 seconds left in the second. All right, so Erickson, Dylan, and Weiss out there with Gerlach and Keefe. St. Cloud controls the draw, brings it in the zone. Erickson able to punch it out to Dylan. Dylan grabs control, makes a couple moves. He's got Erickson out in front. He centers. Weiss got his stick on it, but wasn't able to direct it on net. Now St. Cloud They go cross ice, doesn't connect with anyone. Gerlach will backtrack and find it. Plays it off the boards for Keith. Keith plays it up the boards. Dylan able to punch it out to neutral. St. Cloud takes control. They'll punch it in the zone. And they'll dump and chase. Gerlach back to play it first. They'll reverse it to Keith. Back behind the goal line to Dylan along the midboard. Dylan goes cross ice for Weiss. And unfortunately, we run out of time before we can get a possible breakaway. So at the end of 2, we're tied up at 1.
Also, a friend of mine from camp, I lived with her. I was sitting in the little house on campus.
All right, ready to start the third. Tied up at 1. Peck, Downey, and Lee come out with Kinder and Dacey. Peck wins it back to Kinder. Kinder plays it a little far for Downey, but Downey able to tap it in the zone. St. Cloud plays it right back out. Kinder with the puck. He's got all kinds of traffic. He'll get rid of it. St. Cloud will intercept. They go far side. Taken away by Lee. Lee brings it across the blue line. He goes through a player. He shoots. Oh, just wide. I don't know if the goalie got a piece of it. Downey to Kinder. Back to Downey in the corner. Downey looking for somebody. He'll just play it back to Kinder. Kinder will reverse it to Dacey. Dacey goes off the boards down for Downey a little too far. Peck's going to chase it down in the corner. Moves inside the circle. He shoots. Got a piece of it. Downey back behind the net. He centers for Lee. Broken up by St. Cloud. Downey finds Dacey at the point. Dacey flips it high into the seats off the backhander. We'll get a whistle. We'll get a face-off outside the zone. No, sorry, inside the zone. I thought that would come out to center ice, but face-off in the Orono offensive zone as Orono changes up all 5. Gerlach and Keefe on defense. Burke, Peck, and Fessler. Fessler centers. It's loose. St. Cloud's got it. They're trying to find a breakaway. They get it. Gerlach from behind ties him up. Comes in on Packer, but he just taps it off to the side. Now, Keefe able to clear the zone. Kelly. He'll find Fessler. Fessler punches it in the zone. He goes and tracks it down. He centers for Burke to Kelly, who buries it. I think. Is that Kelly? It's not Kelly. It's Keefe. Keefe from Burke and Fessler makes it 2-1 Orono. Sorry, they were a little too far away from me. I couldn't see who's who. So Keefe with the goal. Gives Orono 1 goal advantage. Now off the faceoff, Keefe has to backtrack into his own zone. Burke tries to clear. He's finding it. He'll put it in the zone past the red line, so no icing. Fessler in the corner, tries to gain control. He does. Sticks go flying. Burke grabs it. Burke back behind the goal line, tries to center. It was broken up. Burke able to hold the zone. Fessler grabs it. He loses a wheel. And St. Cloud plays it, but Kelly there to check. Now Fessler ties his guy up. Allows Kelly to get it. And he scores! Who was that? Erickson buries it. Makes it 3-1. Erickson came off the ice, grabbed a loose puck. There were assists, but like I was trying to figure out who's who out there. I think Kelly for sure got one, and I don't know, good teamwork. Team assist there. 3-1 on a goal by Erickson. Erickson wins the draw over to Dillon. Dillon enters the zone. Orono trying to find their mojo. They get one in on net, and puck is frozen. 12:44 left in the game. So 2 minutes and 16 seconds in, this goes from a 1-goal or a tie game to a 2-goal Orono advantage. Weiss off the draw puts a backhander weak on net. Well, it forces a save. He didn't get good wood on it because his arms were being tied up by a St. Cloud player, but he got it on net. Forces another face-off. Erickson wins it over towards Dillon. Dillon off the boards for Erickson. Erickson back behind the net, gets nudged off the puck a little bit. Pops right back up. He's looking cross ice. Now he'll just dump it for Kinder. Taken away by St. Cloud. They got a 2-on-1. But good play by Dacey to break that up and stop the rush. Now they put it in. Kinder back out to Dillon. Dillon's got some space. He momentarily loses it. Now Weiss has it. He goes cross ice. Gerlach has a look. It goes off a St. Cloud skate out in front. Peck tries to put it down in the corner for Dillon. Intercepted by St. Cloud. They'll play it out to neutral. Pass doesn't connect, so Keefe will go back and gather. He gets it to Peck. Peck dumps it in the zone, then has to go try and track it down. St. Cloud gets there first. Far side, Lee along the midboard, trying to hold. Gerlach trying to hold. Now St. Cloud dumps it out. Gerlach tied up with a guy. St. Cloud rushes the net. Poke check by Downey. Now shot. Blocked. Lee's got it. He gets it to Peck. Peck brings it across the blue line. He gets out in front. Oh, he puts it on net. It's broken up. It's loose out in front. They're whacking at it. St. Cloud able to clear. St. Cloud player goes wide. He's trying to gather the puck. He can't get a shot off as Gerlach backtracked and broke it up. Now Lee goes cross ice. It's intercepted. St. Cloud rushing. Kinder. Good poke check. Back behind the goal line. Dacey goes far board for Lee. Lee overskates it a bit. Now he's got it. He tries to find Downey out in neutral. Downey can just get a stick on it and put it in the zone, but now Downey whacks it beyond the goal line. He'll go and chase it down. He tries to get it to Peck out in front, broken up. Now Fessler on. He pinches. He holds. He gets it taken away. Now Kinder holds his own. Fessler and Burke on the forecheck. St. Cloud Trying to clear the zone. They do. Cut off by Burke. Burke will just whack it back in the zone. Nifty little play there. 10:03 left in the game. Dacey inside the blue line holds. He'll get it to Fessler. Sorry, Kelly. That's Kelly. To Fessler now. And St. Cloud's going to get a penalty here. Orono tries to put it on net quickly, but Orono is going to go on the power play for a check. Sorry, interference, the call. Whatever, it's cheating. 3-1 Orono in the third. 9:49 left on the power play. Burke, Kelly, and Fessler stay out with Keefe and Gerlach. Orono controls. Fessler tried to hit Keefe. It's broken up, and they got a breakaway. He moves in on Packer. He shoots. He scores. That's 3-2. Unforced error gives St. Cloud a breakaway shorthanded goal, and we got a tight game again. 9:39 left in the third. Erickson, Weiss, and Dillon come out. Gerlach and Keefe stay on defense. Off the draw, puck comes all the way in the Orono defensive zone. We've got 1:15 left on the power play. Weiss tries to gather. Knocked away. Now Gerlach. He gets it far side for Dillon. Now Erickson has it. Erickson gets rid of it to Dillon. We just knock it out of our own zone. We're on the power play, boys. St. Cloud gonna run a real old time. Now Weiss tries to get it in the zone and does. Keefe comes to support. He grabs, moves towards the net. He gets taken out. Not all the way, but St. Cloud dumps it down the length of the ice. That'll be icing. So, 35 seconds left on the power play. We'll change them up again. Peck, Lee, Downey, Kinder, and Dacey. 35 seconds on the Orono power play, leading by 1. Draw fought for. Kinder controls. He shoots, goes off a St. Cloud skate, back behind the goal line. Downey and Lee working back there. Downey gets it to Lee. Lee back behind his own net, gets it out in front. He tried to whack at it. It almost went in the goal off of St. Cloud leg. Now Peck. Yeah, hold the zone. Yeah, crap. It comes out. We got 5 seconds left on the power play. Peck's going to rush it. He gets poke checked from behind, so they're even strength. Downey grabs it. He dumps it for Dacey. Dacey pinches. He gets it to Peck in the corner. Peck to Downey at the point. Downey's just going to cycle it back. St. Cloud taps it. And they exit the zone. Dacey gets a piece of it. Now goes and backtracks. 7:54 left. 1 goal game. He hits Downey along the midboard. Downey tried to hit Peck exiting the zone, I should say. Now he does. Puck's loose. Peck grabs it, brings it in the zone. He's getting poke checked all kinds of crazy. St. Cloud plays it up, back out into neutral. Gerlach thinks it off the boards, goes right at Lee's feet. He brings it in the zone. He gets his stick held up a little bit. He dumps it for Keefe at the point. Keefe cycles it down low. Orono in the midst of a change. St. Cloud able to exit out into neutral. Keefe knocks it right back in. Now Fessler. He gets poke checked. He's trying to find it. St. Cloud's got it. They'll dump it out into neutral again. Keefe has to backtrack. Uh-oh. He whiffed a little bit, but Gerlach was there to get it out of trouble. Now Fessler to Kelly. Kelly enters the zone. He shoots. He scores! Kelly hits the top of the crossbar and in. It's either Kelly from Keefe or Kelly unassisted. That gives us a little cushion. That was needed. Kelly just inside the circle, or at the top of the circle, really. Shoots a laser right over the goalie's shoulder and in. Orono controls the draw. Fessler brings it in. Kelly's got his stick on it. He gets it down to Fessler behind the goal line. Fessler looking for somebody out in front. He puts it out there. It was well defended. St. Cloud pushing past into neutral. Burke there to interrupt. He'll go off the boards to himself somewhat. Now St. Cloud in their offensive zone trying to get something going, but Kelly interrupts that. He gets it to Fessler. Fessler on a rush. Gets it into the zone. St. Cloud defends. Weiss along the midboard. He comes away with it. He rushes towards the net. He gets a backhander just wide. Dacey. Oh, he back taps, but it comes out to neutral. So Kinder grabs it. Kinder on a rush. He'll bring it in the zone. He centers. Nobody home, but Weiss will go and track it down in the corner. He'll reverse the puck. Dylan Erickson now on. Dylan trying to grab control of it. Kinder grabs it at the blue line. Punches it towards the middle. Erickson gets a stick on it. Goes down. Now, St. Cloud going the other way. They're offside. And we get the whistle. I didn't think we were going to, but he was clearly offside. He tried to hold up and couldn't. 5:15 left in the game. Orono leads 4-2. Face off just outside the defensive zone. One by Orono, back to Gerlach. Gerlach brings it across the blue line. Well defended, but in the offensive zone. Comes out. They play along the boards. Peck goes and grabs it. He'll bring it in the zone. He makes a move. He shoots. Blocked. Sorry. Poor camera. St. Cloud now going the other way. Keefe breaks that one up momentarily. Now Gerlach, his D partner, puts his stick on it to Peck. Peck nudges it to Lee. Lee able to punch it out. St. Cloud player is going to get there before Downey can. He'll skate behind his own net. He'll come up to the blue line, but Gerlach pinches and cuts that one off. He'll put it back behind the goal line. St. Cloud trying to play it out. Cut off by Peck. Now St. Cloud able to punch it out to neutral. Lee has it. He'll bring it across the line. He looks far side for Downey. Downey couldn't control a bouncing puck, but he centers. It's loose. Kinder's got it at the blue line. He'll cycle it back down low. St. Cloud. Now Lee. Now St. Cloud. Out to neutral. They'll put it in the zone. They'll go off for a change. Keefe finds Peck just inside the blue line. Peck moves into the zone, but poke check. Now Peck gets it back. He shoots. It's low. Rebound. Not given up. Frozen puck. 3:42 left. Orono leading by 2. Burke, Kelly, and Fessler on. Kelly gets another shot. It's blocked. Kinder and Dacey on defense. Kinder ties up his man. Back behind the goal line. Puck comes across the net. St. Cloud there first. They're looking to center, but taken away by Dacey. Dacey gets absolutely held, but no call. Now Burke trying to find it. St. Cloud grabs. They dish. They shoot. It's loose. Oh, Kinder gets cross-checked and get him out of there. Number 5 for St. Cloud just cross-checking the hell out of Jack Kinder. And they're not calling a thing. 3:06 left. No damage done. Except maybe a couple punches to the back of the neck. All right. St. Cloud wins the draw. It's battled for. It's loose. Out in front, they try and get a shot. Blocked. Fessler. He'll throw it the length of the ice. It's going to go on net, so they got to play it. No icing. It's loose. Oh, man. Kelly and Burke got there along with Fessler, and the goalie didn't cover up, so it was a loose puck momentarily. St. Cloud back behind the goal line. 2:41 left. Probably a few more seconds, and they'll start thinking about maybe having to pull the goalie. They bring it in the zone. Taken away. Kelly's got it. He gets across the blue line. He gets cross-checked from behind. No call. Holy cry moly. Ay. They're letting them play now that they're down by 2 on their home ice. And by play, I mean foul a lot. St. Cloud trying to get it in the zone. They do. Dylan whacks at it. Backhander in on Packer. They'll cover up. We got to start pushing some guys out of the crease. They're getting a little too comfortable rushing the goalie. 1:55 left. Goalie still in net for St. Cloud. Erickson takes a draw, wins it back to Kinder. Kinder tries to reverse. It doesn't get a lot on it. It's loose back behind the net. Kinder working back there. Now Dacey tracking it down into the corner. Forces a pass to the point. Shot! Packer just gets a piece of it with his goalie stick. Now Dacey punches it out to neutral. Weiss going to go track it down. He's got one man to beat. He shoots. It's blocked. Dacey was rushing the net. Now Dacey has exchanged positions with somebody. That's Sully Dillon, who backfilled him. He'll get it. Dillon reverses it off the boards, not out. Shot comes in just wide, but Packer will glove it and hold on. 1:09 left. St. Cloud not pulling their goalie with a face-off deep in the Orono zone. Now they are. Now they're thinking about pulling him. He comes off the ice for a 6th attacker. So, empty net. 1:09 left. St. Cloud wins the draw. They've got an extra attacker on in an empty net. Peck back behind the goal line, looking for it. Gerlach working with him. Peck into the corner. St. Cloud. Peck will push his man into the boards. Gerlach. Now Downey steals at the blue line, but it was a little too far for him to get control of it. And St. Cloud puts it into the bench area. So face-off just outside the Orono offensive zone. Yeah, they'll put their goalie back out for this face-off and take an attacker off. Kelly wins the draw. Peck wins the draw. Gerlach punches it in the zone. 38 seconds left and counting. St. Cloud plays it out into neutral. Keefe holds it up, waits for everybody to get on side. Now he rushes. He's going to shoot just wide. But the puck comes out into neutral. Gerlach gets there first. 21 seconds left. St. Cloud gathers. Now they'll bring the goalie off again. Shot gets blocked by Peck. It's loose out in front. Shot, Packer save. They've got an extra attacker and an empty net, but 3 seconds left. They put it towards the middle. Shot goes wide, and the horn sounds, and Orono has wrapped this up. They win 4-2. Ref didn't like something from a St. Cloud player afterwards and blew his whistle. Somebody's going to go on the books for an unsportsmanlike probably. But that'll do it. Oh, get your jammies ready. We got a game tomorrow for 8:45 p.m., I believe it is. It's a late one on a Sunday night. It's a school night, man. But we will be playing. Who are we playing? 3 games in 3 days. It'll be Armstrong Cooper at 8:45 p.m. tomorrow night from Morrison Ice Arena.